everyone, and welcome back to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Andrea Hawk. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful Friday, and it's kind of bittersweet because today is our very last day of our 2-week challenge. But don't worry, we will have a brand new host making a brand new challenge, so that will be hard. So thank you guys all so much for joining. Welcome everyone in the chat. We've got Raphael, Munir. Tim is saying your mic is having some connection issues. Let me know, you guys. Let me see. Testing. Okay. Just a moment. Just making sure all the cables are plugged in perfectly. All right. See if this is any better. Any better. I think this sounds a little better in my piece at least. But let me know. Yeah, I'll be checking the chat throughout the stream today. Let me know if you're still having any problems hearing me. I'm going to go ahead and hop on over to behance.net/challenge/XD and we can go ahead and get started. Alright, I'm going to pull this up. Alright. Oh, you guys are saying no. Let me figure out what the problem is with the audio then. No. Everything seems to be plugged properly. I'm not sure what that could be. Just a moment, checking some of the settings here. Okay. How about now? Is this any better? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Testing. Let's see. I may have to restart if the sound is not getting any better. So just let me know. All right, I'm gonna start scrolling down here, and we go ahead and see what our first challenge of today is. Not yet. Still no. Okay. I might have to restart. All right, hang tight, guys. Oh, Precious said his words. Hang tight. I'm gonna have to restart. Just one moment. All right. Testing. Okay, the sound sounds a lot better to me. So let me know, you guys. I just restarted the app, so hopefully that's a lot better. Yeah, let me know in the chat. Perfect. Okay, so now we'll get started. We lost a bit of time, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll on down here. Let me make sure I got my sound on in the background. Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of issues there. Perfect. Okay, today we're gonna be working on content-aware layout. So what I want you guys to do, yeah, Akeem said you've had these headphones for a long time. Maybe it's my headphones. Maybe I need to switch that out. All right, so we're gonna do content-aware layout, and we're gonna design an experience that tracks allergies, medications, or other similar medical information. So as you design your components and choose colors, we're gonna focus on accessibility today. Perfect. Okay, I'm seeing the chat and everyone's saying the sound is a lot better. So if you want to, you can go ahead and grab that starter file in Dropbox. Just hit download, direct download, and this will bring up this starter file for you. It'll look a little something like this. I'm gonna hop into Discord really quick. So if you guys aren't already a member of Discord, definitely check it out. We've got a lot of great conversations going on here. So a lot of you guys have been sharing all of your work in the current challenge channel right here. So you can scroll through and see what everyone else has been working on. So thank you guys all so much for sharing all of that work. As always, if you have any questions, just post it and ask a question. And if you're new, let us know in the introductions channel right there. And of course, we post all of our announcements about when we're going live and such in the Creative Challenge channel. So that is a bit about Discord, and you can join Discord via this link right here. We've got bit.ly/XD Discord. That's where you can sign up and become a member with us. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop into our starter file and get started because I'm not sure how much time we lost with that. Hopefully not too much. You know how it works by now. I've got some inspiration for you guys. You can check out the resource booklet right here, so you can hop through all of these different components and see some of my favorite links to icons and photos and such. And of course, be sure to share your work on Behance and Discord. So Behance with that keyword XD Daily Challenge. And then just for the sake of time, I'm not going to read this, but this is just some tips about accessibility as we're designing today. All right, cool. So I already have a few artboards already started right here. I'm actually going to be designing a smartwatch today. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys were thinking mobile since that's what I've been doing, but today it's going to be a smartwatch. So if you want to, just hit this little artboard icon. You can scroll right here. I usually do watch 44 millimeter. So that's what I'm doing. So I've already got this splash screen started and a few assets down here, just on my little assets artboard. These are from Adobe stock, some icons. So I'm going to create the home page first. And this is the page where we're going to focus on that content-aware layout that I mentioned. All right, so no border there. I'm going to give this a gray background. And pretty simple. It is a watch, so there's not a lot of room to click around. We just mostly want like the main features, like notifications, maybe seeing what time of day we need to take them, just like a list of our medications, things like that. Raphael said, is the smartwatch mandatory? No, it did not, or it is not. So feel free to do whatever size you want. For any of these challenges, you can do whatever you want. Whatever size you want, at least. Okay, so I'm gonna make a CTA button. Let's just round some corners a bit. I will make this teal color, center it a bit. And again, you know, our thumbs are pretty big and our forefingers, so we can only have so much space to click on this smartwatch. So I really only have room for maybe 3 CTA buttons. So I'm gonna add some text. Let's say just like medications. I'll make this white. And let's see, CTA button, okay. So a cool thing about the content-aware layout, let's go ahead and group these two together. So I'm just doing Command-G to group. And you will not see this padding toggle unless you have something selected on an actual artboard. So like if I'm selecting out here, or like if I'm selecting anything over here, this is not on an artboard, we won't see it in that layout panel. So make sure it's something on an artboard. And then what we can do is toggle this on. And it's kind of cool because we can either choose to adjust the padding all the way around on every single side, or we can make it square. So usually the way I like to do it is you hold down the tilde key, which is like the little key that looks like this. So hold that down and then you can drag and you'll see the pink indicator and it'll tell you a number of how many pixels padding that's going to be. So you can do it that way. Or you can just input the numbers directly in here. So let's say like 30, which looks absolutely crazy. So let's go back to what we originally had. This looks pretty good. So let's say on each side, anytime I have a button, I always want the padding to be 26. I'll use the same on the other side. And right here, it's a little hard to see, but you can see whenever you click in each of these spaces, this icon will update as well, so you know what side you're updating. So let's do the left side. We'll say 26 as well, and then 14 and 14 on the top and bottom. Obviously, top and bottom, we're not going to change too much since it's just text and it'll go horizontal. So when I copy and paste this and I make another CTA button, when I start typing in there, let's say, I'll say like schedule, it automatically keeps that same amount of padding. So whatever text I add, let's distribute these a little bit better. Let's say I'll say like symptoms, it automatically updates it. So cool. So I use that quite a bit. In this case, I usually would just like make these CTA buttons like the same size, but we're showing content aware layout today, so there is a lot of cases where you would like to keep these, you know, separate padding sizes. All right, so let's continue on. I will go with the schedule artboard. So let's add some of my icons down here. Of course, we'll need a back arrow. And for the back arrow, I actually like to keep it within another group. You'll see it's got this border, just so I always know that it's like at the same position on every artboard. Then I want to say like, okay, what time of day am I gonna have all of these different medications? So let's say in the morning, and let's type out morning. And I'll make this all caps since it's kind of small. And this font today is At and Round. I know you guys are always asking what my fonts are. So let's group those together. Make sure this is centered. And now I'm gonna do a repeat grid of just a bunch of my different fake, obviously. I don't take all of these pills, but I just want to show a bunch. So let's show a bunch of different pills. And I made them look fun and colorful. Normally, I'm sure all these pills will not look this fun, but you know, just for the sake of our designing today. So let's say like this is ibuprofen. I think that's how you spell it. Make that a bit bigger since it is a smartwatch. So we do want to be able to see it pretty well. So this is at like 13-point font. And below that, let's add like the amount. So one pill, let's say like 10 milligrams. I'm just making this all up. I don't know how much one pill of ibuprofen is, but we can just pretend. And then on the right, let's add a little checkbox to see if we've taken it or not that day. Okay, and then we can group all of those together. So Command G to group, and we'll do a repeat grid. I'll just say like we have 2 in the morning, and then I'll ungroup these just so I can add a different color in here. I'll add the teal little pill here. Going for rainbow today, rainbow pills. And I'm gonna copy and paste this. So we'll say maybe this is the nighttime of our pills. Add a little moon icon right here. And you'll see I'm just trying to keep within the gray tonal range since we do have a lot of colors for the pills. So I want those to kind of be like the main focus, and these icons can sort of fade to the back a little bit more. And I need to have a scroll on this page, so I'm just gonna drag the bottom of this artboard down and copy this, and then let's just do another repeat grid. So bring this down, give it the same spacing. Okay, let's just say 4. We can ungroup these, and I'll add some more colors for the pills. So put this one there. We'll do a green. If vitamins and stuff were this colorful and fun, like maybe I would actually want to take them. Okay, a purple, and we'll do a yellow. Okay. That looks pretty good. Let's bring the bottom of this artboard up. And since this is going to be a scrolling page, we need to make sure that we select the background. And since we want this to stay still while we're scrolling, just check this checkbox right here. It says fix position when scrolling. So when we preview that, it's super tiny, but hopefully you can see when we scroll through these, the background stays still. So that looks good. Let's go ahead and hop on over into our prototype tab, and we can just go ahead and link up all of the screens that we have so far. So from the splash screen, oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm calling this Remedmer, a little play on words with remember and meds. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know, it's probably cheesy. Okay, so our trigger here will be time, and the delay will be 2 seconds. I usually like to give enough, 1 or 2 seconds for the splash screen. And then from our home page, again, we're keeping it super simple with only 3 CTA buttons. And then we can drag schedule this trigger. Let's link this to the next page. And we'll say just a normal tap trigger, doesn't need to be auto animate or anything fancy. And animation can be none or dissolve. So that looks good. And then we need to be able to go back. So let's select the back icon and just drag it back to the previous artboard. So that looks good. Let's preview that so far. So it's 2 seconds. I didn't click on anything. And then we've got our home page. We click schedule, and then we've got our scrolling right there. And I should actually probably add like 1 or 2 that are not selected here. So like this one, let's go back into the design tab. This one can be this grayed out color. Maybe there's no checkbox here or check mark here, and maybe same down here. Make this grayed out color, remove that check mark. Okay. No one's perfect. We haven't selected all of these. All right, the other thing I want to add is a notification page. So obviously that is probably like the best use case of a smartwatch, just getting notifications. It's right there on your wrist. So this would be a good application for medications. So let's copy that background, paste it right there. And I want to add, let's see, a close button in case we don't really care about the notification, or maybe we already like took the pill so we don't need to see it. So let's add that close, kind of on that same line right here. And I will add just one of these pill icons so we can indicate which one we need to take. So let's put that right here. Maybe just a circle behind it. And again, we don't want too much on all of these screens, just keep it pretty minimal since it's going to be very small. Generally with smartwatches, I do try to make the background black actually, and not too much color, because it actually uses like quite a bit of energy for your smartwatch before you have to charge it. But in this case, I just wanted to make it kind of fun and colorful. So generally though, I try to keep it dark on smartwatches, but that's okay. So we'll give it some text. What is the notification about? So we'll say like, it's time to take your pill, exclamation. Keep it that same font size. Let's bring the spacing in between the 2 lines down a bit. That looks pretty good. Maybe a tad more. Okay. And then really all we need on this page is the CTA button, call to action. So again, let's select one of those CTA buttons, bring it here, and we will center it. And again, since we have the padding, that content aware layout already taken care of here, so we've already dictated that we want 26 pixels on each side. Then if we start typing in here, let's say just like done, or like mark as taken, something like that, it automatically adjusts both sides of those paddings. And so you can see you could use that for other cases, like if we had a bunch of these and like we wanted the inside pill to always have a certain amount of padding on the top. So things like that. So it has to be like 2 grouped items together. Otherwise, obviously, there's nothing to put padding on the sides of. So let's add like 1 more screen. Making sure I have enough time since I started a little bit late. Okay, got about 5 minutes. Let's copy that background. This can be the symptoms page. So I'll just copy this back arrow, and I want that same kind of title up at the top. I don't want that sun icon though. So I'll center this, I'll say symptoms. And maybe we want to be able to track our symptoms throughout like a few months and see if the pills and the medications are actually helping. So let's add some bars, like a graph. And I just want this to be the same color is our back arrow right there. And we'll do repeat grid. And again, since this is a smartwatch, we don't want too many rows. Let's just add 3. And this will be more in the background, so I'll bring down the opacity just a touch. And then I have already created just a few little lines for our graph. Say like right there. Looks good. And then we need some dates on the very bottom. So let's say like February 1. Put this on the left over here. February 10th, maybe. And February 20th. And again, this is one of our previous daily creative challenges. If we select all 3 of these and we want to distribute them evenly, we can come up here in the align panel and just hit this button, and it will give it even spacing between all of those. And let's add just this little indicator of like how we were feeling on that day. So let's say that day we felt like 3 out of 5. So the pills weren't working too much on that day. Group those. And let's see, just add some triggers. So all of these screens are connected. So let's go into our prototype tab. Let's see, we've linked these 3. So let's say we'll just, whenever we select that little, that can be like notifications or settings, and then we'll have a tap trigger for that one. And then we can close this, press the close button. That will bring us back here. And of course, when we press that symptoms CTA button, that will bring us to our symptoms page. So that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and preview all of that. So we had our splash screen. That was super quick, 2 seconds. Let's click medications. Wait. Oh, we didn't have a medications page yet. That's okay. So 2 seconds on our splash screen. We click schedule. We can scroll through all of those, uncheck them. If you wanted to add components for the check and uncheck, you could as well. Maybe we click the notifications. We can mark it as taken or just close it. And we can go back, click symptoms. You can see our graph of how much our pills are helping us. And go back. I didn't attach that. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, so that is a very quick foray into content-aware layout. So play around with the padding toggle here with either square or adding different size padding to all different sizes. I don't have too much time. I did want to get into accessibility a little bit, but I was gonna just say that basically the teal here isn't super accessible, especially since this type of app, someone that might be taking a lot of medications, maybe this is a perfect case where we would definitely want to focus on accessibility. So what we could do in this instance is go to our teal color, just right click and hit edit, and then maybe we could go down to HSB and just make this like a little bit darker, drag it down a bit, so there's a little bit more contrast between the background and our white text. Yeah, but feel free to read some more of those tips down at the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and Command S to save, and let's hop into Behance, see what we got going on there. So of course, today's our last day. This is so sad. So go over to edit within your project if you're sharing on Behance, and then make sure you go into that settings tab, head over to the discoverability tab and add your keyword XD daily challenge. And that way I can find your work and share it. I've only got time to look at a few of you guys' work, hopefully just a few minutes. This one was by Ellen, 2 Ellens it looks like, so let's play this one. This was the auto scroll day, so let's see if any of these automatically go to a different step. Know your wine, I love it. Cool, so it goes automatically to day 5 and more. The CTA button on the bottom looks great. Very nice. Thanks for sharing, Ellen, if you're watching. This one by Manpriya. So let's preview this. All right, we've got yoga asanas. Ooh, this is a good use case. Very cool. So the different steps in a yoga workout. Very neat. All right. Okay, guys, that's about all the time I have left for today. Again, sorry about the little sound audio problem in the beginning, but we figured it out. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much for sticking with me these last 2 weeks and doing all these awesome designs. In about 5 minutes, don't go anywhere because we've got our XD masterclass with Howard Pinsky. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye!